Hey guys, this is Chris from Empire Bricks and welcome to another LEGO Star Wars set review. Today we're having a look at set 75188, the Resistance Bomber. The set was released in 2017. It comes with 778 pieces, has 5 minifigures, and it retails for $109.99 in both dollars and euros. So guys, one of the bigger sets from the Force Awakens wave, a Resistance bomber ship, really cool ship, but as always, let's start with the minifigures. We get 5. Before I start looking at each and every one of them, I want to say that for $110, I think 5 minifigures is quite on the low end. Just taking a look at the First Order transport, you get a lot of figures, I believe 7 or 8. I think that is a more reasonable number, and that set is actually cheaper than this one. So either this set is a little bit overpriced, or it has not enough figures, but I'll get back to that later, because I think the number of figures for the set is actually good, but the number of figures for the amount of euros or dollars is not that good. But let's start having a look at all of them, starting with the most important figure from this set, that is Vice Admiral Holdo. And even though she is the, I guess, main character or most exclusive figure for this set, she actually is quite a plain figure. You can see the neck print for the shirt she's wearing and the negative space on both sides, giving her a slimmer figure. On the other hand, you can see, on the other side, you can see the draped cloth on the back, but no printing on the front. And I would like to say that I think it would have been better if they kind of prolonged the wrinkles onto the legs, because now it's just really plain. She does come with this really cool purple hairpiece. If we take that off for a second, we can see that she has a more stern or aggressive secondary face. All in all, pretty cool to have as an exclusive figure, but I think with some leg printing they could have done more with this figure, or even a robe piece, so not the legs but a robe piece. She does come with a regular sized small black blaster. Moving on to the second figure, and also a pretty important figure, is Poe Dameron. Now he is in his kind of fighter pilot outfit. He does have this cool insignia on his chest, and you can see that there is some metallic printing on both the legs and the torso. The back is quite simple, even though there is, as you can see, some really small metallic details. So nothing too fancy, but quite detailed printing, and printing on the legs, which actually connects to the torso pretty well. A stern face as well, kind of a I think a new hairpiece for him, or at least different from other sets that we have seen him in. If we take that off, we can see that he has a more friendly secondary face, or primary face, just what you want. This would be the face that he talks to Holdo with, I guess. And he also comes with a small black regular blaster. Now then we have 3 actual crew members for the bomber, starting with the only named figure, and that would be Paige. Now she has an incredibly detailed pilot uniform. I really love those Rebel uniforms. I think they are amazingly detailed, especially the pilot ones, and this one is no different. Lots of metallic printing going on, more on the back, even though the print itself is a little bit simpler. Really cool helmet. Just have to say that these helmets are getting better and better, and I like the diversity in prints and stuff like that. It's absolutely amazing what LEGO does with these Rebel and Resistance helmets each and every time. Now, taking that off, we can actually see that she has an amazing mouthpiece print on the front, which looks absolutely cool, and kind of a raised eyebrow. And on the other side of the headpiece, there is a, let's get that sharp, a head without the mouthpiece, and seems to be the same face, just no mouthpiece. So this is Paige, and she also comes with a small black blaster. We get to the 4th figure, which is no named figure. This is, and I have to say this correctly, the Resistance Bombardier. So a regular crew member. Now he has exactly the same torso and legs as Paige, but a different headpiece. But let's start with the helmet first. It's a green helmet with another stunning print on it, completely different from the last one. The mold is the one that we have seen from previous Resistance and Rebel helmets. You can see the Rebel insignia. I cannot believe how detailed these helmets have become. Looking underneath, we can see that he has another mouthpiece, just a little bit simpler, and also a raised eyebrow and a friendlier secondary face, which is cool for a non-named figure to have a secondary face. And he comes with a medium-sized metallic blaster, so that's really cool to have another one of those. And last but definitely not least, we get to the Resistance Bomber pilot. So this is the actual pilot of the ship, and he also comes with exactly the same uniform. Not bad. I mean, it's a great print. I think it's a little bit cheap from Lego that they gave us 3 of the same torsos, but I do understand why they did that. The helmet, again, new print, so you get 3 different helmets, which is really cool. It's the same mold, just a different print. Looking underneath, we can see another mouthpiece, and here also a secondary face, but more frightened. I guess the only thing that I don't like about this one is that underneath the helmet you can actually see the mouth on the back. So I think the mold should have been a little bit lower, but it's a small detail and it's very much forgivable. And this figure also comes with a medium metallic blaster. So 5 incredibly detailed minifigures, really cool details, 3 different helmets. So concerning the minifigures, I think Lego went all out on the design side with only a few minor things that I would think could be improved. I just think it's a little bit on the low end for $110. But let's put these aside and have a closer look to the actual ship. Now, I'm going to put it a little bit on the side so we can take the camera and move a little bit over here and get a little bit more, a better look at the ship as a whole. Let's put this on the side. Okay, so this is actually a pretty big build. I'm just going to put one of the figures next to it. You can see how absolutely enormous this ship is. It's really big. It's well, I guess about 10 minifigs high, maybe even more. But what I liked about the build, let's start there, is that for a very large ship, this is actually a pretty quick build. It didn't take me very long to build this. I guess about 1.5 or 2 hours, which is not bad for around 800 pieces. So it does look very complex, but it's a very smart build with incredible efficient use of pieces. Looking at the design, I think this looks absolutely great. It is instantly recognizable. So many features, kind of small details over here. There is some stickers, so there is this one which is on both sides. Looking at the top, there is 4 large stickers, so these are 4 stickers. There is these smaller stickers on the side over here. And there is some cockpit stickers, but they are inside. We'll get there later. So design-wise, I think Lego has done a great job. Just look at stuff like this, the engines with all the pipings and the engines over here. It just all looks very, very cool. So very happy design-wise. Functionality-wise, though, this is an absolute winner, and I'll show you everything that can move or be used, starting with these. Now, these kind of remind you of the Republic gunship and kind of turrets that are on the ship. These can actually move to all sides. Sorry, Haldo. I'll show you later. I can pick it up, but this one actually kind of hangs from the bottom, but it just flips up when you put the ship down, because as you can see, it can stand on itself. And there is another one here on the back. You can see it can turn almost on every side, just not up and down. And the idea is that you can pop these open and put a figure in it. So you get one Resistance bomber gunner, or page in this case, for one of these turrets, but you actually would need 2 to fill up the ship. So there is a lot of room for extra figures in this ship. So those are the turrets. That's the first functionality. Going to the cockpit over here. Now this one is a little bit tricky because you can take it off like this, And you can see that here too, there is space for 2 figures. So I would say 2 resistance bomber pilots, of which you just get 1, but you can fit 2 inside. So lots of these console pieces, but it actually feels pretty large, and you could even modify it a little bit if you wanted to, just to add more detail to it. There's just more than enough room to do that. It's very hard to put that together with one hand, so I'm going to put the camera down for a second over here and just attach it to the ship again. So there we are. So that's one thing, and then we have this space over here. Now this is also kind of a detachable piece, so you can take this whole piece out. So that's this piece, and there's a few things going on. So this has its own kind of canopy piece, which allows you to put something in here or somebody in here as a crew member. And here is more detail. So as you can see, there is a chair that can rotate. There's another console piece. There are some backpacks, which is really cool to see these older backpacks, but you could actually fit more people in here if you wanted to. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So those are all the spaces for minifigures. There is also some actual functionality concerning the weapons of this ship. So as I told you before, there are these turrets. They don't actually shoot, but they are kind of make-believe. You have those on the back here as well. And you have these blasters that can turn and have a make-believe blaster, but they also have these stud shooters, which you can fill with studs and shoot to the back. Going to the front, we have a lot more of these kind of make-believe blasters. But then again, there is these, let's see if I can get this on camera correctly. Here you can see the spring-fired missiles. And those are actually fired by pressing these. So as you can see, I just shot it, and you can pull it out and put it back in over there. There's 2 of those on the ship, so that's a very cool thing. But the most important feature of the ship is, of course, the bombing feature. Now, this is a resistance bomber, and I'm going to show it to you first and demonstrate while I put the camera back. But if you flip these up, you get to this really giant black hole inside of the ship, which actually runs through this entire piece and is at the moment filled with 6 resistance bombs, which are actually just black balls. You can actually turn these up as well, and those bombs can be dropped by the ship, and I have to put the camera down for a second to demonstrate that. So I'm taking the ship over here. Now I'm going to demonstrate this first. If you pick it up, you can see that the turret actually falls down in a natural position. You can just fly. But on the back, there is this ribbed piece over here. And if we push that, you can see that a bomb drops out of the ship. Now you can do that 6 times and simply pick it up, take it in, drop it inside, and you can start all over again. So that's an insanely cool feature. I think this is the best bombing feature that I have seen anywhere in any Lego set. I mean, you can look at the Hyena droid bomber from the Separatists. That's okay, but it doesn't work as intuitive as this, because you want to pick up the ship over here, so it's actually located near your thumb, almost like a handgun, which feels very natural, making the whole ship very swooshable as well and extremely playable. So having said that, we have 5 minifigures, lots of features, great ship, big ship, big build. So what are my final thoughts? Well, if you look at the size of the ship, I think 5 minifigures is fine, although 6 or 7 would have been better. Of course, we always like to see more minifigs, but 5 is basically enough. You can fill every spot. There's just some double spots like the gunner and the pilot. You can actually add more, but it's more than enough to play with. The set itself is completely packed with features and stuff like that. So the only thing that I don't really like is the price. $110 is on the high end by any means for 800 pieces and 5 minifigures. 80-90 bucks would have been perfect. 110 is just very much pushing it. But if you have to choose between, say, this and the First Order Star Destroyer, or the maybe the First Order Walker, I still think that this is a very good choice. It's iconic. It's a completely new ship that we haven't seen before in movies, where the Walker and the Star Destroyer are basically remakes of older things, and this is just brand new, and I think it's an amazing set, so I can really recommend it. Just if you can, try to get it in a sale. So that's it for this review, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.